Hi everyone and welcome out to a brand new series, I guess you could call it, on this channel called How Much I'm Judging You Based Off Your Main in Pokemon Unite. Now, the newest update came out, Espeon just got added to the game, and I've experienced a lot of emotions. I feel like a lot of people would agree with me in the fact that this is probably the hardest season that we've had so far in regards of how hard it is to progress while trying to rank, whether it's solo queuing, whether you're 5-stacking, whether you're doing trios. It's just been really hard this season. One, just because matchmaking has not been good since the release of the game. And second of all, characters be broken. And this video was really to call out how much I hate every single Pokemon in the game. So without further ado, let's get into this. So we have the categories of, I would like to punt this Pokemon into the sun, smile. I'm calling my therapist. More broken than my emotional well-being. I respect you, just not your choices. I would kill it for a Klondike bar. Just like flying in the middle seat. Nobody likes it, but we allow it. And you need help, so I'm calling your therapist instead. Now, all of these are subjective. These are my own opinions based on the matches that I've had. You may have experienced different matches, different comps, different whatever. And maybe you are the people who are playing the broken characters and you're just 5-stacking and you're all the way at like 1800 Masters level, in which case this probably isn't the video for you because you're enjoying yourself and stomping in the faces of people like me. And you know what? I respect you for it. But for the rest of us who are trying, and for those of you who aren't, please rotate for dread. This is a cry for help. Alrighty, starting off with no one being surprised, we have Greninja in the category of I would like to punt this Pokemon into the sun. Not really for the fact that it does a lot of damage. This isn't really necessarily a broken offensively character. It's just broken in the fact that there should not be a reason why 4 people have to target one Pokemon in order to kill it. And 9 times out of 10, even if you are those 4 Pokemon trying to kill it, you can't kill it because homie McGee is skirting around Tokyo Drift style eating berries. He's not playing the game, he's just running for his life, which I mean, I understand because that's also how I live my life. However, at the same time, fix it. Fix the squirrel. Thank you. All right, second of all, I'm not putting it on Greninja level, however, I don't think a lot of people would disagree with the fact that Lucario needs a vibe check. Now, there should be no reason. There's so many videos on Twitter of just Lucario doing the most insane things with Bone Rush. That mon's been glitched for a while, to be honest with you. Like, the extreme speed glitch that kept happening, like, it just... He's a buggy character, and I feel like every single time they fix a bug, there's a new bug, and no matter how many bugs this dude gets, they keep buffing him, and he just doesn't die. And like all the attack weight strats, like the trioing on bottom and Lucario up top, just stacking attack weights and then doing all the stuff, like it's annoying. He doesn't die either, and for that reason, I'm not gonna say he's dummy, busted, broken, and just on the level of me wanting to take it and punt it into the sun at the nearest experience. However, I've been trolled on by Lucario players who know how to play Lucario very well. And in those instances, I do wish that I could call my therapist, so therefore he is in that ranking. Now to continue down the list of more broken than my emotional well-being, we have Treven. It doesn't die. It doesn't die. It doesn't die. Yeah, it doesn't die. So this mother-loving tree, everyone will vouch. It gets away from everything. I've played Treven a few times just because I'm like, I want to see like legitimately how people are doing this and just not dying. I think I die once a game. And like, I understand that it's a defender. It does so much damage. Its speed is insane. Its health regen is insane. On top of the fact that you run potion, like there's so many things. And really its health regen is where I'm gonna put it as more broken than my emotional well-being, because at this point, this thing is basically a support character. It's a defender, it's an attacker, it's fast. Like it does everything and it doesn't die. And you know, I understand defenders aren't supposed to die. I understand that's the point of the category. Before all of you little people in the comment section are like, well, that's the point of it. Like, I understand that. I am just saying, I don't like it. Case closed. I think everyone agrees. All right, now in the category of I respect you, just not your choices, we have Cinderace, the Pokemon that basically every single person in regards to worlds and regionals and whatever, like, I feel like there's just like a communal agreement to not run Bunny, because I don't know how Bunny has been able to go this long with just basic attacks doing basically 3,000 damage at a time, Pyro Balls, ult getting canceled. Like, Bunny has problems. People who run Bunny have problems because they can't ult. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not calling you out for your problems, but if you do, maybe it resonated with you. And I respect you. He's an attacker. He does a lot of damage. However, I don't respect your choice to basic attack me for 3,000 damage, which is more than I can do with an attack when I'm trying 90% of the time. Thank you. All right, now going to the category of I would kill it for a Klondike bar, I have Gardevoir. It's paper. It really doesn't have a defense. It kind of just does a lot of damage. It's honestly pretty hard to play because there's a lot of prediction, and if you don't predict correctly, it kind of bites you in the butt because then your move recharge takes a hot minute as well. And so really at the end of the day, does a lot of damage, so you target it so it doesn't kill you. Its ult does the black hole of boom booms. So yeah, I would kill it for a Klondike bar, but at the end of the day, like, out of all of the other people surrounding it, I don't feel like that's the first thing to, you know, go. Alrighty, up next in the category of just like flying in the middle seat, nobody likes it, but we allow it. I'm putting Snorlax. Nobody wants to fight a Snorlax. Nobody wants to take it down. No one's happy when they see a Snorlax on the other team. But at the end of the day, kind of like Gardevoir, with everyone else that's surrounding it, I don't feel like anyone's gonna point a finger at the Snorlax and be like, listen, you're the problem child here. So, you know, nobody likes fighting it. Nobody really wants to deal with it, but yet, at the end of the day, we're content with it. Like, could it do more damage? Could it be a little bit more, you know, there? Yeah. But at the end of the day, he's not the problem child currently. All right, and just to continue down the list of I'm calling your therapist, we have Mr. Mime. 80% of the people who I see run Mr. Mime are not the people who know how to run the busted Mr. Mime. And I feel like Mr. Mime is just kind of really behind in regards to everyone else. And don't get me wrong, the walls are still annoying. The pushing people into the walls and dealing more damage is still annoying. However, it doesn't get a lot of representation. And I feel like it's probably one of the most dead characters that are out there right now. But I'm hoping that with recent updates and stuff like that, they find a way to get Mr. Mime like back in a meta just so Mr. Mime has more representation. Not a fan of Mr. Mime personally, so like I'm not exactly opposed to it being gone and just kind of wishing its way out. But for all of you Mr. Mime fans out there, because I know there are some, I'm calling your therapist to get you the help that you need. All right, for my own personal vendetta reasons, I would put this Pokemon under I'm calling your therapist, but for similar reasons, we're putting Crustal into the category of I would like to punt this Pokemon into the sun, mainly because the playstyle of Crustal, just like the playstyle of Greedent, makes me want to just lose it, actually, because there are so many times where you play against a Crustal, they're never involved in team fights, they have attack weight, they have 80,000 shields. The recent update to make the shields go away, or like not go away, but like be less, and the whole buddy barrier and score shield stuff was supposed to like stop Crustals from doing Crustal things. And guess what? It's not stopping Crustals from doing Crustal things. And I'm just so tired of matching against people or matching even with people if I'm not running a 5-stack. And there's just a Crustal who doesn't participate in anything and just goes off on its own personal mission of justice and is like, you know, I understand that Rotom's on a hair and like, I hear you, I could help. but this Corphish with the 3 points right here, calling my name. So I'm gonna take a rain check. I'm gonna go kill that. And then instead of afterwards helping, I'm actually gonna yeet, skeet, delete to bottom lane just to make sure that I get these 3 points off. I understand it's costing us the entire top lane. I understand, I get that. But you know, these 3 points are really important to me. So I'm gonna go do that. And I can't, it's so frustrating. If you are a Crustal and you play this way, I understand there's a meta for it. I understand that's the thing. But please, for the love of God, you are irritating everyone. Help us. Help us help you. This is a public service announcement. Thank you. Alrighty, and back to the category of I'm calling my therapist. We have Agelash. I don't think this one really needs a lot of conversation as of the recent update, which is basically what I'm basing all of this on, is the Espeon update in case you're watching this however many months, years down the line. As of right now, Agelash is insane. It's nuts. It does so much damage. Its defenses are insane. The healing, the blocking, the damage is nuts. And like literally every single time I see an Agelash, I'm like, here we go. And it's like a mental like seat belt that I have to put on of like, okay, we need to buckle up. There's an Agelash. This is what needs to happen. And he does so much damage. And it's almost like it's in the Serena mindset back when Serena was insane of just like, it can take out 5 people, no problem. And that's just insane that it's gone on for so long, I guess, and still hasn't been fixed. And it's an all-rounder. So like, I understand it's doing all-rounder things. However, just the blatant ability to kill 5 people, no matter if they ult, no matter if they do whatever, it is so hard to kill an Agelash. And every time I see one, I'm like, Lord, wait till my therapist sees this footage back because I'm gonna need some emotional healing. And yeah, that's Agelash. All right, and in the category of more broken than my emotional well-being, I'm putting Blasty here. Blasty, for the sole reason that the stupid rapid spin, shooting water out of your cannon shenanigans needs to stop. And I understand the people who run it and you're like, no, I'm gonna keep going. And it's just like, I understand that you're gonna keep going and I can tell you to stop, but it's really because I'm so sick and tired of dealing with it. And the fact that it's unstoppable the entire time. Like you can ult it, it doesn't take ult damage. It doesn't even like partake in the ult. Like Espeon's ult where they levitate him off the ground and then they explode and they all go boom boom. Yeah, he doesn't even go off the ground. He's just like, like Beyblade style. And stop him. Someone stop him for being the Beyblade that no one asked him to be. I understand that that's Blastoise things. I understand he's designed to go spin. However, he needs to be stopped. This is not the time, not the place. Get it done, get it over with. Take damage. Just take damage. Just take damage. Stop being unstoppable. Just a thought. Consider it. All right, in the category of I respect you, just not your choices, we have Talonflame. This is pretty simple. Stop flying away. Stop flying away. Stop sky bombing me in the face. And when you get scared, you fly away. That's it. You're gonna play them on. You're gonna get in a fight. Fight the fight. Don't just be like, boop. Like, fight the fight. Fight the fight that you intended to fight. That's it. Under the category of I would kill it for a Klondike bar, we have Cramorant. He's annoying. Everyone will agree it's annoying. He does a lot of damage. He's pretty frail, kind of like Gardevoir. I will target it to make sure that it can't do Cramorant things and stun me to just no end. But at the end of the day, I would absolutely kill it for a Klondike bar, for sure. No hesitation. Alrighty, and just like flying in the middle seat, no one likes it, but we allow it. I'm also putting Slowbro. No one likes to face a Slowbro. No one wants to deal with the Slowbro. It dies a little easier than some of the other like defender supporter characters. So like it's a little bit less of a burden. Whoever thought it would be a good idea to give Slowbro the amount of healing that it has, I would like to, you know, maybe have a conversation about that and lessen that just like a teeny tiny bit. However, aside from that, like I allow Slowbro to be the way that he is and not really give a lot of complaints about him. So yeah, there's Slowbro. In the next category of I would like to punt this Pokemon into the sun, I'm putting Hoopa. He's S tier for a reason right now. He's in World for a reason right now. Hyperspace Hole, the ability to heal, the ability to teleport, the ability to steal berries, the abilities to do everything. It changed the meta so much. It's insane. It's like, it's such a good mon. And like part of me is just putting it at the very, very top because it's such a good mon right now. And I feel like I have to put it above Lucario and Agelash. And also let me preface, this is not a ranking of like skill. So I'm not saying that Greedent and Crustal are better than Lucario and Agelash. It's just like, if I want to punt this Pokemon into the sun is really what it is. This is not like an S tier, S Pokemon being at the top. This is a, how much do I want you gone from the game that's Pokemon Unite. And it's like, there's been so many times, and I feel like so many people can relate to this, where Pokemon's close to dying, and then Hoopa's like literally Hyperspace Hold. The second they're on like 1 HP, sucks them away, and then they're back at full health. And it's almost to the point where like you almost have to run a Hoopa on your team to even have the idea of combating another Hoopa, because you can't get the same health back, especially if they're running Blissy. So it's kind of like dog eat dog world Hoopa style. And for that reason, I'm putting him in, I would like to punt this Pokemon into the sun. In the category of I'm calling my therapist, I'm putting, ooh, this is kind of a toss up. I'm putting Wiggly. I'm putting Wiggly because it has the ability, like, I've played Wiggly. Wiggly was the first season I got to Masters with. I'll blatantly say, its abilities and the shenanigans Wiggly does, it's annoying. It's meant to be annoying. It's incredibly fun to make people angry when you play it. However, I will 100% agree, as someone who plays it, that it makes people rage quit. Little bunny going la 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 should not like have people have problems with their ults. It shouldn't. The amount of people who have probably lost their ult, not been able to do things with their ult because of little bunny going la 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 is a lot. And like on behalf of Wiggly users, like I apologize, but also at the same time, like I don't. But I understand why I call my therapist when I face a Wiggly, and I can only imagine you guys do the same. So for the communal reasoning, I'm putting it there. In the more broken than my emotional well-being, I'm putting Charizard for the fact that it gets its ult 80,900 bajillion trillion times, and it needs to take more damage while it's flying. It does. Like, the fact that it's so far above and it's so hard to hit it, like, it makes sense and I understand it. However, at the same time, like, it's in the air for so long and it gets its ult so much. And like literally every single time I see a Charizard and it's fully evolved, I'm like, well, here's to getting seismic tossed to the sun, because it's gonna happen 8,000 times a match, especially if they're running energy amplifier. And I really just want it to ult less and have it take damage when it ults is really all that I want at the end of the day. So until that happens, I'm putting it as more broken than my emotional well-being, just for the rate in which it ults and the fact that it's incredibly hard to kill. Not saying it's impossible, not saying you can't do it. It's just very difficult to do it when it's in the air without dying first. Under the category of I respect you, just not your choices, I'm putting Decidueye. Robin Hood for a reason, sniping for a reason, incredibly irritated and never seeing it and only dying to it for a reason. Incredibly frail, does boko damage, but it's the same thing that I said for Talonflame. If you're gonna get in fights, fight it for a reason. I'm so angry of never seeing a Decidueye, but the Decidueye sees me, and all I do is have half my health gone in one hit from the stupid bird that you never even get a chance to see. Under the category of I would kill it for a Klondike bar, I'm putting Azumarill. I really don't have a lot of bad things to say about Azumarill, to be honest with you. It doesn't really make me rage. Whirlpool does what Whirlpool does, and it's a really cool, like, defense mechanism, to be honest with you. Honestly, I hope they give it a little bit more of a buff, to be honest with you, because I feel like it could do a little more damage to be on par with, like, the other all-rounders who are doing a lot, like Lucario, Agelash, etc. So, like, it's a pretty good offensive mon. I'd kill it for a Klondike bar, but I'm really not gonna complain about it. And yeah, if you play Azumarill, I respect you. In the next category of more broken than my emotional well-being, we're putting Duraludon, because every single person can agree that the Burning Ring of Fire's range is insane. Lower it. Please, lower it. It's insane that I can't even see Duraludon on my screen, but I'm dying to it. Or if you're even outside the range and you don't have the little dots around you, I'm still dying. Like, the range is insane. Nerf the range. At the end of the day, after you do that, fair game. Go bonkers. Do what you want to do. The Burning Ring of Fire needs to be calmed down. Under the same category of I'm calling my therapist, I'm putting Machamp. It's insane. This mon's damage is insane when it evolves. When Espeon first got released, I ran Espeon for almost the entire day, figuring out its playstyle, etc. Close combat from Machamp one-shot me every single time with me running Focus Band. I don't necessarily understand. And keep in mind, this was a Machamp that was on par level-wise. This was not like a level 15 Machamp versus a level 9 Espeon. Its damage is insane. I don't want to put it all the way into I want to punt this Pokemon into the sun because Greedent deserves that spot so much more. But I've experienced trauma. And I don't like the way that this Machamp makes me feel. Thank you. More broken than my emotional well-being, I'm also putting Greninja. Surf is nuts. I don't know when Surf became like just insane and everyone started running it more than Water Shuriken, but I have never died so consecutively, so just nonstop to Greninja ever since Surf decided to become the new breathing air. And it very similar to Cinderace. It does so much damage with its basic attacks. Greninjas are getting almost 100,000 damage every single game, whether you're jungling it or not. And it just does insane things. It's damage, it's crits, it's everything. Please, I don't even know, like, I don't even know what to say to fix, like, lower the damage. Like, he scares me. I would kill it for a Klondike bar because I'm putting it above Nobody Likes It But We Allow It. I'm gonna put LD. Because I feel like LD contributes more to a team than Slowbro and Snorlax. Nobody likes to see an Eldegoss on the other person's team, but Eldegoss does so much more for the team in regards to supports with its healing, the speed boosts you get, the shields that you get. So I do think Eldegoss is pretty viable and has continued to remain very viable this entire time. I think they buffed Pollen Puff or something. Eldegoss are doing a lot more damage now with Pollen Puff than they ever were before. To my knowledge, I don't remember ever seeing any patch notes on it, but it's incredibly viable. It's awesome. If you run Eldegoss, shout out to you for being the heroes that we don't deserve. But yeah. In the other category of I would like to punt this Pokemon into the sun. This Pokemon would not have made this part of the list until recently. We have Blissy. I would also put this in the category of more broken than my emotional well-being. Blissys do not die. Their healing is insane. The fact that all you have to do is ult at Zapdos, and no matter how many people on the other team ult, like basically nobody takes any damage. It's incredibly frustrating playing against one. Basically, the meta right now is Hoopa, Blissy, and then like 3 attackers. And as long as you have that, you're not dying and you're winning the game. And like, I think there's so much potential with Unite, and it makes me kind of sad that that's basically the set that you have to run to really be able to like almost just counter it. And like I said, it's insane. It doesn't matter how much you ult, like Blissy's tank and the shield and just everything makes it so impossible when it comes to Zap. And Zap is like the 2 minutes where, you know, can make or break the game. You can be ahead by like 800 points and just like, oh, Zapdos is insane. Blissy is insane. As of recently, like I said, Blissy would never have been this high on the list pre as of the last month or two. But as of right now, if I see a Blissy, I immediately get irritated. Thank you. In the category of I respect you, just not your choices. I'm putting Garchomp. They keep trying to buff it, and the amount of buffs it's taken to get this mon viable is a lot. And same thing I said for Blissey. Basically, every single time I see a Garchomp, I get annoyed. Its ults are annoying. It just does a lot of damage. I really don't have a lot to say on it, to be honest with you. I just... Like, of all Pokemon, you're gonna choose Garchomp? Like, what? Look at everyone else, and you chose Garchomp. Like, bestie, why? Before, I would kill it for a Klondike bar. Espeon, the most recent Pokemon. It's awesome. I honestly hope they give it a teeny tiny bit of a buff. Like, not anything crazy, but just like maybe nerf Psyshock damage, increase future sight damage, increase stored power damage. That's really what I would say. I've had a little bit of issues with its ult where like people just don't take damage for it after they like levitate and go boom boom. And granted, part of that could be due to shields and whatever. But I think anyone would agree that, you know, you save your ult for a big majority of the game, and when it goes off, you expect it to do damage, especially in team fights. So it's really frustrating when it doesn't. But overall, I really like Espeon. I would say, again, it's one of the better mons that are in the game right now. I'm also going to put Sylveon there simultaneously. Also a really, really good mon right now. I don't understand why so many people are running Mystical Fire right now. Like, almost every single Mystical Fire almost every single Sylveon I face is running Mystical Fire. The damage output between Hyper Voice and Mystical Fire just really isn't the same at all. Just like how the damage between Stored Power and Psyshock really isn't comparable at all. Unless you manage to get all 5 flames or beams of energy to hit one mon, but still at the same time, like, it just damage and yeah, they're great. And Sylveon heals. Like, they're both awesome. I love them both. I will protect them both. And now for I'm calling my therapist and more broken than my emotional well-being. I'd kind of put it as a cross between those two categories, but I'm gonna put Alola Tales in more broken than my emotional well-being just because of the amount that it still is able to freeze. The freeze stun, just the effects of Alola Tales is insane. And it always kind of has been insane. I think its speed is the one thing that really kind of at least gives Ninetales something to where it doesn't have as much mobility as everyone else. But, like, goodness gracious. I will say the one thing from someone who's run Alola Tales a lot, as of recently, I've noticed I don't live after I ult. And I make a lot of jokes of can't wait to use my ult and then explode, because basically you do the little burst, the light energy goes out, and then it just kind of like you die afterwards because you don't live basically past that initial jolt unless you manage to kill everyone. So that's the one thing I'll give Ninetales credit to, is the fact that, like I said, it's very rare that I live after I ult. However, the freeze stuns, especially if you run it with Hoopa and you stack the stuns, that would be a level of I'm calling my therapist. And then punting both of them into the sun. So it really just kind of depends on the set, but I will say the freezing is pretty broken. It's pretty broken. Under the category of I respect you, just not your choices, I'm putting Pikachu. I've played Pikachu recently. It's so stupidly busted. It gets its ult so much. You know what? We're putting it under broken. We're putting it under broken. It can ult so many times. You get your ult basically every 30 seconds of the game after you're like level 9. Especially if you run energy amp. Like basically the minute I launch my ult, I'm back at 30% and I have my ult within, like I said, basically 30 seconds of me firing it. So, it's insane for sniping. It's insane early game. Pikachu's just stupid. Under I would kill it for a Klondike bar, I'm putting Venusaur. I don't know, like, I respect you if you play Venusaur. It's really annoying to fight the Solar Beam strat. Like, really no matter what you run, whether you're Sludge Bomb, Solar Beam, or whether you're Giga Petal. Back in the phase where Giga Petal was insanely broken, I would have put it under Calling My Therapist or more broken than My Emotional Well-Being. It's definitely better now. But I mean, like, as a mon overall, it's really good. It's pretty easy to kill. Its damage isn't insane. Like, you're not gonna basic me like Cinder and Gren do. You're not impossible to kill like a Charizard. You're not impossible to kill like a Blastoise. So I respect you. Under I respect you, just not your choices, mainly because I hate fighting it. I feel like everyone hates fighting it. I'm putting Gengar. I think it speaks for itself. Hex, Dream Eater, the shenanigans, the ult, the everything, the buffs that it gained, the healing that it gets. It's not fun to face. No one's excited to see a Gengar on the other team. Not one singular person. It's pretty fun to run. However, I don't like it. And therefore it goes there. Under the I would kill it for a Klondike bar, I'm putting these kind of together. I'm putting Dragonite and I'm putting Zera. I think they're both a little bit more on the underused category of everything. I'd say I see a few more Dragonites than I do Zeras. They're trying their best. Zera's damage output, once you get it there, can be good, but it just the way the meta is right now, Gengar does so much more damage. Agelash is just insane. Like, you really don't have a reason to run Zera. And it's more so on the rare side to see, like I said now. There's ways you can still run it and have it be viable and definitely still win games. But just with the way the meta is right now, it's just kind of not there. Dragonite is Dragonite. Dragonite's not my play style, so I personally don't play it very much. Dragonite gets the job done. He's like Bob the Builder. He can do it. Yes, he can. And he does. And so I would kill him for a Klondike bar. But that's it. Under the category of I respect you, just not your choices, I'm putting Serena. This thing can and still will kill 5 people at once. It's not as broken as it was on initial launch. However, that does not mean that I still don't just have disdain for this mon, fighting this mon. The flinches, the stuns. I'm so tired of being thrown into the air and kicked back down. I'm just annoyed by it, is really all it is. Like, stop killing my entire team. Stop doing Serena. Serena, stop. Stop. That's just, Serena, stop doing Serena things and consider doing something else. Under the category of I would kill it for a Klondike bar, I'm gonna put Absol. I was really debating this entire time as to whether I was gonna put I respect you, just not your choices. Like, I still could put it there. Everyone will agree, Absol's damage is insane. It hurts like a mother-loving truck, especially if it's running Pursuit and you're trying to run to get back into your base. You're basically one shot from full health. However, Absol is paper, which is like the one counter to it, you know what I mean? So it's really not hard to kill. So for that reason, I put it under I would kill it for a Klondike bar, just because it's a lot easier to get off the field than the people who are above it. Whereas I feel like with those Pokemon, you're trying and trying and trying and trying to kill them. And a lot of times you either can't see them, like Decidueye, to kill them, or you're getting sky bombed and then they fly away. Like, there's a lot of shenanigans that happen. So that's why I put it one rank down. And honestly, last but not least, I kind of had a hard time figuring out where to place Mammo. Because I feel like people are more excited to see a Mammo than they are Snorlax. Like, I could put it under I would kill it for a Klondike bar. Like, I respect Mammo players. It's not broken. I don't want to call my therapist. So I'm just going to put I would kill it for a Klondike bar because I really don't know where else to put it. It's a good mon, especially if you run double freeze with Alola tails. It can be a menace. Its ult does a lot of damage. It's a pretty offensive defender, which is kind of cool. It dies a lot easier than a Trevenant. So, I mean, like, really at the end of the day, especially the early game control you have as a Swinub and a Pillow-Swine, you're really honestly kind of chilling in that regard. So, I respect it. And shout out to Mammo players. But with that being said, guys, I am going to call this the end of the video. Please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you guys haven't already. We do a few Pokemon Unite streams here on the channel. This is our 4th season hitting Masters, so all the support would be greatly appreciated. We're also incredibly close to 15K, so every single sub, every single like does mean the entire world. We do some viewer matches every now and then, so definitely come and join and be a part of those if you guys are interested. But with that, I will see you guys all in the next video. Goodbye!